Hey guys, it's Charlie. I want to talk a little bit about the destruction of liberty in this country and the latest assault on liberty. And that assault is coming in the form of an internet kill switch that's rearing its ugly head once again. But before I get into that, I want to recap back to 2001, 9/11, the liberty-destroying Patriot Act that spawns out of that event, which sends hundreds of thousands of our troops around the world to fight in litter boxes and die, leaving thousands of Americans dead, tens of thousands of Americans maimed for life, and hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of citizens around the world dead, all in the name of fighting terrorism. Once again, terrorism, the perfect enemy. It's a borderless, nationless enemy that cannot surrender and you cannot kill. It can go on forever. We have the Patriot Act followed a few years later by an act of economic terrorism that usurps your financial liberty by throwing the country trillions and trillions of dollars into debt to bail out a bunch of, in my opinion, parasitic financial terrorists who created the meltdown and then got bailed out for it. And then you have countries around the world starting to wake up and push back. We saw it in France, in Greece, in Ireland, in England. Now we're seeing it in Tunisia and in Egypt. And what is the response of government? The response of government is to, in Egypt's case, for example, is to shut down the internet, losing 97% of the internet traffic inside of a 24-hour period. Now, a lot of people think there's no way on earth that can happen here. This is the United States, First Amendment, blah, blah, blah. The fact of the matter is, not only can it happen here, Senator Susan Collins is reintroducing a bill that timed out in the last Congress that will give the president the power to do just that. Joe Lieberman, head of Fatherland Security, he's the head of the committee that oversees Fatherland Security, said that in a time of national emergency where the country is under cyber terror attack, the president needs these tools to radically reduce the internet's capability. Well, here's the idea. You're going to lose your freedom of speech, you're going to lose your freedom of information, and somehow this is going to protect you. Why don't we look at it for what it really is? The threat to the powers that be, the threat to the governments of the world who are working for the cabal of globalist bankers around the world is information and is knowledge. That is their number one threat. And the only way they can be sure to eliminate that threat is to have a system in place that allows one person the access to shut it down if that information becomes damaging or threatening to their needs. So you can be rest assured of one thing. When a Washington politician goes before a camera and tells you, we're going to do this to increase your security and increase your freedom and preserve your freedom, you can be rest assured soon you're going to have a bureaucrat standing in front of you, usurping your liberty and taking money out of your pocket to pay for it. And you will end up not secure, but you'll end up under a soft tyranny. 97% shutdown in Egypt. Senator Susan Collins introducing the same legislation here that would give our government the power to shut down in the case of a national emergency. What we see going on in Egypt with the citizenry pushing back against a tyrannical government certainly could happen here in this country. So ask yourself this question. Is this thing here, is this internet kill switch on behalf of the American people, or is it to be used as a tool against the American people? Now, a lot of people think I'm far-fetched when I come out and talk about police state and the direction this country's going. But, if you look a decade ago, if you drove down to your local next intersection, you didn't have a traffic cam on every corner. When you went to the airport, you didn't have 60,000 TSA agents standing there in the blue uniform ready to put you through a rapid scan machine that's going to give a video image of your naked body so they can make sure you're not wearing an underwear bomb. And oh, by the way, just happens to be one of the former heads of Homeland Security, works for the company now. If you think that things are being done for your liberty and for your safety, you better think again. Because the fact of the matter is, if you flip that dialogue around 180 degrees, it'll give you some semblance of the truth and what's really going on and the trajectory of this nation. Stories are attached. That's all I got.